Right. First of all, very good morning and a warm welcome to this commodities webinar on this Saturday morning. First of all, I would like to appreciate everyone, each and every person who has joined today on this Saturday morning. Thank you so much, and I appreciate also. So, I am Arvind Jinka, Product Manager for Commodities and Currencies at ICICI Securities Limited. Today we have with us the business head of commodities and currencies at ICICI Securities Limited, Mr. Ramesh Varketkar, and we also have the research analyst, Mr. Saif Mukaddam from ICICI Securities Limited. So today's webinar, Navigating Commodities Trading on MCX, a guide for retail investors. I hope this session will be really helpful for you. We, as ICICI Securities, we as a commodities team, we have been doing webinars every month continuously, regularly. You would be able to see our webinars, previous webinars also on our YouTube channel. We also do live webinars and also recorded sessions. So there are some important and very hit webinars like ask us anything on commodities and etc. We bring market experts, we bring speakers from exchanges and other major organizations to clear out doubts, any of your doubts about commodity derivatives trading at MCX and in India. So yeah, so today let's start our session. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. Very good morning, all. I think we can keep this webinar in Hindi and English, both. I think all participants are comfortable with that. So again, a warm welcome. Before we start, I request you to use the chat and just type you hail from which city. If at all you can type in the chat box. You can just use the type in the chat box. You come from which city? Yeah, Sanjay Sharma ji, thank you. Bangalore. Mr. Ravi from Chennai. So we have people from Gaya. Yeah, my chat is buzzing. Satyaki Chakrabarti from Kolkata. Ajay ji from Patna. Amit from Mumbai. Thank you. Thank you all. So we have participants across South, East, North. Yeah, somebody from Chennai. Venkata Krishnan. Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all once again for joining this. I have another question before we start. How many of you have participated in commodity markets till now? How many of you have ever traded in commodity markets? Just type Y in case you have traded in commodities, or Yan in case you have not traded in commodities. That will help us to understand. Yeah, Devendra says no. Upendra Mishra, Y. Vivek Raghavan, Y. No, 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 no. Yeah, I can see a lot of no's. Ajay Sinha, no. Pushkar Raj, no. Venkata Krishnan says yes. PN, no. Okay. So it's a mix. Almost 70% say no and 30% say yes. So we'll also navigate our webinar in such a way saying that so that there's value addition for those guys who have come for the first time, who don't understand about commodities. And also there is something to take away for those guys who have been trading in commodities. Yeah. Arvind, we can move to the next slide. We can start our webinar. Thanks everybody for responding on those two questions. So commodities is something that each one of can relate in our day-to-day life, right? I'm sure everybody relates very well with gold, silver, right? Aluminum that we use in our day-to-day life and work that we do. Gold is, especially women in India, love gold. So commodities, everybody understands. And why commodities? Commodities is a different asset class, and the returns of commodities are independent of that of equities and debt market. So I believe that commodities is a great asset class to diversify. Whoever have been investing in equity markets, debt markets, so commodities is a natural progression to diversify their portfolio. And as you all know, gold is a good hedge against inflation, and commodity derivatives is one of the route where one can take exposure to gold. And I believe it should be a part of your portfolio, 5%, 10%, 15% as per your risk appetite. So who are all the people who trade in commodity derivatives? It's retail customers like you and me. Just to share some statistics, any guess what would be the retail participant share in commodity derivatives market? Just type any guess. You can just guess. Type in the chat box. Just to share with you, in currency derivatives, 20% or 21% of participants are retail. In equity derivatives, I believe it's close to 30-35%. What could be the percentage of participants? Let's say MCX does 100 crore. What would be the retail participation in that percentage wise? Anand says 50. Yeah. Upendra says 20. Sanjay Sharma says 10. Okay, great. Some are saying 5%, 30%. ठीक है, शंकर जी हिंदी में भी हम बोलेंगे. थैंक्स फॉर रेस्पॉन्डिंग. आई थिंक एक पार्टिसिपेंट ने ठीक तक बताया, जिन्होंने बताया था 50%. आनंद जी, a round of applause for you because you track these markets passionately. That's why you're able to respond. In commodity markets, almost 48% of the business is from retail. That means 48% of the people who are buying, selling in these markets are people like you, people like me, right? Who are all retail investors. It's not a market which is predominantly dominated by large participants or large hedge funds, so on and so forth. So we have 48% as retail. Then you have hedgers, exporters, importers, refiners. Then there are a lot of arbitrageurs who participate into these markets. Let's move ahead, Arvind. Right. I'll not go into deep history of commodities, but if at all you compare other markets like equity derivatives, commodities is younger market, just 20 years into business in India. And the last 20 years, there has been a lot of changes which happened. Earlier, the regulator was FMC, but effective 2015, SEBI has been the regulator. And there are a lot of new things which have come, like options, mini contracts, so on and so forth. So SEBI has regulated these markets very well. And currently, the average daily turnover on MCX is close to 1 lakh crore, right? And predominantly it's options. And then you also have futures which are traded here. So that's the brief history that I wanted to give. You can move ahead, Arvind. One thing, whenever you're trading commodities, especially commodities at MCX, because all these commodities are internationally traded commodities. So one need to keep a track on international prices also. Just to give some example, here are the different exchanges across the globe where these commodities are predominantly traded. And one should look at those prices also whenever they are trading into commodities. For gold, silver, or any of these precious metals, COMEX is the largest exchange, and one needs to track those prices. Similarly, those who trade crude oil, natural gas, the exchange, international exchange that one needs to track is NYMEX. So you have crude oil prices, which are in dollar terms, COMEX prices, gold prices on COMEX, which is in dollar terms. That's very important. And other commodities like soybean is on CBOT. When you trade any of these base metals like copper, lead, zinc, nickel, aluminum, right? Predominantly, they are traded on LME. That is the largest exchange. Cotton for ICE and Bursa Malaysia for crude palm oil. Even though crude palm oil is not being traded for last 2 years now because of the ban. But what is predominantly traded on MCX is bullion. We need to refer COMEX, energy, we need to refer NYMEX, and LME for which, and then base metals for which we need to refer LME. I hope everybody is clear till now, especially those that 70% of audience which said no, they are new to commodities. So I'm just summarizing commodities. Everybody would be able to relate, right? And then these are the major exchanges where commodities are traded in dollar terms. So one needs to keep a track of this also. Thanks, Navdeep ji, for confirming and saying yes. Okay, let's move ahead. And I also mentioned that commodities is predominantly retail play. 48% of the volumes are from retail. So these are the major exchanges where commodities are traded in India: MCX, NCDX, BSE, and NSE. But 97.5% of commodity derivatives volume in India happen on MCX, which is multi-commodity exchange. And we as ICICI are members of MCX. And as I said, what all is traded on MCX is all these internationally traded commodities. So when you divide commodities, there are hard commodities, there are soft commodities. Hard commodities are all those commodities which are extracted from Mother Earth. All these base metals like aluminum, copper, lead, nickel, zinc, or bullion, gold, silver, or energy is all extracted from Mother Earth, and they're all called as hard commodities. Soft commodities are all those commodities which are grown over the soil: cotton, then your mentha, kapas, so on and so forth. So you have hard commodities, you have soft commodities. There are 4 exchanges in India, but 97.5% of the volumes happen on MCX. And we at ICICI are currently members of MCX, and we offer all the commodities which are offered by MCX. Yeah, let's move ahead, Arvind. So I said you need to track international markets, international prices. When you are trading commodities. So when I say international prices, they're all in dollar terms. So another important factor that you need to look at is the dollar rupee exchange rate. Then what are the other factors which affect commodity prices? The most important factor that affect the commodity prices is demand and supply. Higher the demand, right? the prices go up, lower the demand, prices come down, more the supply, prices come down, and lesser the supply, prices go up. It's pretty simple. आसान भाषा है. डिमांड बढ़ता है तो प्राइसेस बढ़ते हैं, डिमांड घटता है तो प्राइसेस घटते हैं, सप्लाई बढ़ता है तो क्या होगा, बहुत सप्लाई है, प्राइसेस घटते हैं, सप्लाई घटता है तो prices बढ़ते हैं. So this is one of the major factor which impacts the commodity prices. Production and all that is for all your other commodities, seasonality for your agri commodities, so on and so forth. और second important चीज is government के policies क्या आते हैं, क्या टैरिफ लगाया है, बुलियन पे क्या ड्यूटी लगाया है, so on and so forth. वो भी commodity prices पे impact करते हैं. Geopolitical concerns, import कितना हो रहा है, export कितना हो रहा है, so on and so forth. So these are all the factors. I'm just talking fundamental first. These are all the factors that one should look into whenever they are trading. And coming back at ICICI, we keep giving all this information in a research report, which comes twice a day, morning and evening. We come out with all the inventory data, what is going to come. We talk about what has been the demand, supply. We come out with all the things which are happening, geopolitical concerns, and what could be the impact. So one is you can track all these things on different websites, or second thing is you can look at ICICI Direct research report, which comes morning, evening, and you'll be able to see and understand all this. Yeah. Arvind, move ahead. I request also participants, in case you have any questions, please keep typing in the chat box. We'll take all those questions for sure, right? Yeah, moving ahead, I'm sure many of you would have been trading equity derivatives. Again, I request you to just use the chat and type in case you have traded in equity derivatives till now. I'm sure now my chat box will buzz with yeses. Please type yes in the chat box in case you have traded equity derivatives ever. Yeah. Sanjay ji, all are saying yes. Navdeep says yes, primarily in options. Great. So we have something in store, Navdeep ji, on commodity options also. Abhilash ji says no. So I could get one no, but else not. My chat box has been buzzing with yes. So I hope everybody understands how equity markets work, right? So this is one sheet, one chart which talks about comparison. In equity, you have hundreds of scripts. सुबह बैठेंगे तो आप सोचेंगे क्या ट्रेड करूं, आज रिलायंस खरीदूं, बेचूं, इन्फोसिस खरीदूं, बेचूं, टीसीएस खरीदूं, बेचूं, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ, राइट? अगर आप सेक्टर भी देखेंगे, एफएमसीजी खरीदूं, आईटी बेचूं, so on and so forth. But when it comes to commodities, there are very, very few commodities which are traded, and predominantly only four. Your bullion, which comprises of gold, silver, energy, crude natural gas. Then you have your base metals, aluminum, copper, lead, and then you have your agri commodities in cotton. So बहुत ही लिमिटेड कमोडिटीज है. 11 कमोडिटीज आपने देखा तो हो गया आपका ट्रैक. और उसके अंदर मैं बताता हूँ, गोल्ड, क्रूड ऑयल, नेचुरल गैस विल कंप्राइज ऑलमोस्ट 80%. बस ये तीन पे आप ध्यान लगा के काम करेंगे तो आप 80% ऑफ कमोडिटी मार्केट्स आप कवर कर पाएंगे. इक्विटी मार्केट्स के अंदर, डेरिवेटिव्स के अंदर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइज फ्यूचर्स के लिए बड़े हैं, 5 लाख से 10 लाख का वैल्यू है. बट जब आप कमोडिटीज में आते हैं तो आपको छोटे से छोटा भी फ्यूचर्स का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, बड़े से बड़ा भी फ्यूचर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है. एग्जांपल लेता हूं, सबसे बड़ा फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है आज गोल्ड, जो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 58,000 रुपीज पर 10 ग्राम चल रहा है. उसका मतलब 58 लाख हो गया. तो मैं गोल्ड का फ्यूचर का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खरीदूंगा बड़ा वाला, तो 58 लाख हो गया ऊपर की तरफ. और नीचे की तरफ देयर इज अ स्मॉल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच इज कॉल्ड एज गोल्ड पेटल, जो नाम में ही बोलता है पेटल, 1 ग्राम. तो 1 ग्राम का वैल्यू हो गया आज 5,800 रुपए. उसका 10% इज 580 रुपीज लगा के कोई भी ट्रेड कर सकता है. तो जितने लोगों ने भी नो कहा है कमोडिटी में, अभी तक उन्होंने काम नहीं किया है, बेस्ट वेज टू स्टार्ट इज विद जस्ट ए स्मॉल इन्वेस्टमेंट मार्जिन मनी ऑफ 580 रुपीज. स्टार्ट ट्रेडिंग इन गोल्ड पेटल, जो 5,800 रुपए का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है. आपको सब कुछ समझ में आ जाएगा, मार्क टू मार्केट, मार्जिन क्या होता है, क्या नहीं होता है, and the probability of losing or gaining is hardly 50 rupees in this. So these are all the advantages of commodity derivatives or equity derivatives. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ don't trade equity derivatives, but I'm saying please use commodity derivatives to diversify your portfolio. इक्विटी के अंदर, डेरिवेटिव्स के अंदर मार्जिन आपको 15% से 50% लगते हैं, और यहाँ पे कमोडिटीज में 6% से 40% तक का मार्जिन लगता है. अभी क्रूड का मार्जिन ऑलमोस्ट 33% हो गया है, तो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सेइंग 40% के मार्जिन तक लगता है. और लोअर साइड आप इंडेक्स के अंदर ट्रेड कर सकते हैं, बुलियन इंडेक्स, जिसके अंदर सिर्फ 6% का मार्जिन लगता है. मूविंग अहेड, इक्विटी मार्केट आपका 9:15 से 3:30 तक ट्रेड होता है, बट कमोडिटी मार्केट्स आर मार्केट्स व्हिच आर ओपन टिल लेट नाइट. सुबह 9 बजे शुरू होता है कमोडिटी मार्केट मंडे टू फ्राइडे, और ये रात में 11:30 से 11:55 तक चलता है। मैं क्यों दो टाइम बोल रहा हूँ, 11:30 और 11:55? देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड यूएस डे लाइट सेविंग। सो मार्च से लेकर नवंबर महीने तक 11:30 बजे मार्केट बंद होता है, फिर नवंबर से मार्च तक 11:55 तक। मतलब जब विंटर सेशन होता है, विंटर सीजन होता है, तब आपका मार्केट लंबा चलता है 25 मिनट और 11:55 तक। इज दिस क्लियर? 11:30 और 11:55, दिस इज समथिंग डिफरेंट। हैव यू लर्न समथिंग न्यू टुडे? हैव यू अंडरस्टूड समथिंग न्यू टुडे? सबको तो ये पता ही है 9 बजे तो मार्केट खुलता है, बट मार्केट क्यों 11:30 बजे बंद होता है, कब बंद होता है, 11:55 को कब बंद होता है? तो मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, यूएस डे लाइट सेविंग की वजह से मार्च से लेकर नवंबर तक मार्केट 11:30 बजे बंद होगा, और नवंबर से लेकर मार्च तक जब विंटर का सीजन होता है तब मार्केट 11:55 तक चलता है। मूविंग एट इक्विटी भी वोलेटाइल है, कमोडिटी भी वोलेटाइल है। आपको 3 महीने तक के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आर अवेलेबल, करंट मंथ, नेक्स्ट मंथ, फार मंथ। इवन कमोडिटी के अंदर थियोरेटिकली 12 महीने के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, व्हाट इज लिक्विड इज करंट मंथ एंड नेक्स्ट मंथ, विच इज इजीली अवेलेबल टू ट्रेड। इक्विटी के अंदर मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स है, आपको देखना पड़ेगा कंपनी का बैलेंस शीट क्या है, प्रमोटर क्या है, उसके सप्लायर्स कौन है, वेंडर्स क्या है, डिमांड सप्लाई, सो एंड सो फोर्थ। कमोडिटीज आर इंटरनेशनली connected market. One individual group of individual will not be able to move the markets. So what I wanted to highlight is all the commodities which are traded on MCX, which are offered by us, are internationally traded commodity markets, right? Moving at इक्विटी डेरिवेटिव में स्टैम्प ड्यूटी है, एसटीटी है, और कमोडिटी के अंदर सीटीटी है। या वी कैन मूव हेड। या श्योर, वी आर ऑल्सो रनिंग दिस पैरेलल ऑन यूट्यूब, और मैं यूट्यूब का भी देख रहा हूँ। मुदस्सर जी बोल रहे हैं हाउ टू ट्रेड इन एमसीएक्स, एनी लाइव डेमो? श्योर, डेफिनेटली एक लॉगिन करके भी आपको दिखाएंगे क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, मुदस्सर जी। बट टुडे बीइंग सैटरडे, मार्केट्स आर क्लोज, बट डेफिनेटली विल शो यू लॉगिन करके कि कैसे होता है, क्या होता है, राइट? विल कवर दैट फॉर श्योर। कोरिलेशन विद निफ्टी, एज ए सेड बिगिनिंग, जब मैंने शुरू किया मेरा डिस्कशन, कि कमोडिटी एसेट क्लास है, और कमोडिटी ऐसा चीज है जिसका रिटर्न्स आर इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ इक्विटी एंड डेट मार्केट, दोनों साथ में नहीं चलते हैं। अगर आप लोगों को सबको याद होगा, अप्रैल 2020 जब पैंडेमिक आया था, गोल्ड वाज ट्रेडिंग समवेयर अराउंड 44,000 रुपीज, एंड अपना इंडेक्स था निफ्टी 12,000 के आसपास, और वहां से निफ्टी स्टार्टेड फॉलिंग व्हेन पैंडेमिक एंड लॉकडाउन स्टार्टेड, इट केम एज लो एज 7,500। और उसी समय जो 44,000 गोल्ड था, इट वेंट एज 55,000 रुपीज पर 10 ग्राम। सो व्हाट आई मीन टू से इज बोथ आर इनवर्सली कोरिलेटेड, सो वन शुड डेफिनेटली लुक इनटू commodities markets too. नागराजन जी बोल रहे you could speak in English. ओके, ठीक है, ओके नागराजन जी, पॉइंट नोटेड। या लेट्स मूव अहेड। I'll try to cover both. I'll try to say in English and then also try to say in Hindi, so that we'll try to cover as much as audience as possible. Let's move ahead. Arvind, we can move to the next slide. So I have my colleague Arvind, who's the product manager for commodities. Arvind, I would like to run you through commodity contract specifications for all our audience, and I suggest if at all you can keep it in English and then a little bit of Hindi also, same thing, try to repeat so that we can cover the entire audience. तो commodity contracts के बारे में अरविंद जी बताएंगे, who is our product manager. Over to you, Arvind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Audience, I hope you had understood the flow now. मतलब first Ramesh sir had explained why to trade in commodity derivatives. मतलब क्यों चाहिए आपके portfolio में commodities, right? How to diversify, right? So my part will be what are those commodities, what are the contract specifications, lot sizes क्या है, कब expiry है, सेटलमेंट कैसा होता है, फ्यूचर में सेटलमेंट कैसा होता है, कमोडिटी ऑप्शन में कैसे होते हैं सेटलमेंट्स, तो वो पार्ट एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ। सो टुवर्ड्स द एंड आई विल आल्सो एक्सप्लेन हाउ टू प्लेस द ऑर्डर्स फ्रॉम द वेबसाइट। मैं वेबसाइट भी दिखा देता हूँ, हाउ टू प्लेस ऑर्डर्स, आई विल हेल्प यू लाइक हाउ टू डू द ट्रेडिंग एंड ऑल। एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड सैफ मुकद्दम विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग, गिविंग यू द मार्केट आउटलुक, रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स कहाँ से देखना है, रिसर्च कॉल्स कैसे देखना है, वो सब सैफ विल बी एबल टू एक्सप्लेन। सो नाउ कमोडिटी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट स्पेसिफिकेशंस पे जाएंगे। फर्स्ट थिंग, commodity futures. तो फर्स्ट थिंग आई वांट एक्सप्लेन, आपने बहुत लोगों ने बोला कि equity derivatives everyone is trading, almost everyone is trading equity derivatives, so obviously you would know the functioning of futures and options. Even in commodities the functioning of futures and options is the same. मतलब जस्ट एक एग्जांपल मैं हर जगह यूज करता हूँ, क्रिकेट ले लीजिए, आप मैदान में खेलो या गली में खेलो, wherever it is the rules are same, 6 4 विकेट सब होते, so the rules are same, only that the using ball would be different. Stadium में we will use leather ball, gully mein we might use tennis ball or something else. So it is only the underlying which is different, but the rules are same for futures and option. इसमें सिर्फ underlying will be commodities. So Ramesh sir जैसे said, what are the list of commodities? Just few सिर्फ 10 fingers use करके हम देख सकते हैं. List of commodities: gold and silver, ये bullion commodities हो गए. Crude and natural gas, energy commodities हो गए, right? And five base metals: aluminum, copper, lead, nickel and zinc, five base metals, and one agri commodity, cotton. So यही commodities आपको यहाँ पे screen में दिख रहे हैं. Except that gold में अगर देखोगे तो there are different variants. गोल्ड में गोल्ड, गोल्ड मिनी, गोल्ड गिनिया, गोल्ड पेटल, क्या है मतलब अलग अलग नाम है तो क्या हो सकता है मतलब कैन इट बी दैट गोल्ड का क्वालिटी चेंज हो रहा है? व्हाट इज इट? द ओनली डिफरेंस here is lot size. So when we are having different variants for gold, the only difference here you will see is the lot size. So gold का lot size है, trading unit is 1 kilogram. Okay, so gold mini का हो जाएगा 100 grams, and gold guinea 8 grams का contract है, and gold petal 1 gram contract. So these are 4 variants for gold futures. And there are for silver, there are 3 variants: silver, silver mini and silver micro, so which are 30 kg, 5 kg and 1 kg, right? And then in crude oil and natural gas, you will see crude oil 100 barrel contract and natural gas 1250 mmbtu. Mmbtu matlab it is million metric British thermal unit. Okay, so that is the like unit for natural gas. And then aluminium is 5000 kilograms, aluminium, lead and zinc are 5000 kilograms, copper is 2500 kilogram, and nickel is 1500 kilograms. Agar cotton dekhoge, we have 25 bales is what is the uh, 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 lot size for cotton, right? So these are the various contracts in commodity futures. So similarly, you look at commodity mini futures. अभी mini futures क्या हो गया? मतलब एक बड़ा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जांपल अभी यहाँ पे क्रूड ले लीजिए. क्रूड क्रूड ऑयल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का लॉट साइज होता है 100 बैरल्स, बट क्रूड ऑयल मिनी का लॉट साइज होता है 10 बैरल्स. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल क्रूड ऑयल में 2 लाख टू 2.5 लाख मार्जिन चाहिए होगा टू ट्रेड इन फ्यूचर्स. ठीक है, फॉर वन लॉट ऑफ फ्यूचर्स. अगर क्रूड ऑयल मिनी, इफ यू सी, इट इज जस्ट 1/10 of the lot size, right? So obviously here you will be requiring around 20 to 25,000 is what you require to trade in crude oil mini. So these are the mini contracts that you see in commodities: crude oil mini, natural gas mini. Natural gas mini is 1/5 of the bigger contract. In base metals, you can see aluminum, lead and zinc, that they are also 1/5 of the major contracts. Gold may, I've already explained, in gold and silver the smaller contracts are there since many years. In crude, natural gas and base metals, they were launched recently. Okay, so half of you were saying that you were not trading commodities as of now. So if you want to start trading in commodities, this is the right step. This is the, like right foot in the door. Like you can start with commodity mini futures, so that it will be requiring less number of less margin, and you'll be able to understand, get a taste of what commodities are. Also, as Ramesh has suggested, the सबसे छोटा contract, the most smallest contract would be gold petal, where you will be requiring around 580 to 600 rupees to start trading with just one lot of gold petal, right? So these are futures, commodity futures. And then there are also commodity indices, just like we have Nifty and Bank Nifty, or sectoral indices like we have. Even in commodities, we have some two indices which are called Bulldex and Metaldex. From the name you can understand, Bulldex is the bullion index. बुलियन में क्या क्या आते हैं? It is gold and silver. So in the bullion index, you can see gold composition of about 64%, and silver composition around 35%. And in metal index, you can see the 4 different base metals in different compositions. So you can also trade in these indices also, just like you trade in Nifty and Bank Nifty. And these indices, the trading unit would be, lot size would be 50 units, right? So it is, these indices are also available for you to trade with enough liquidity in the market. So this is with respect to indices. And these indices, the composition might change annually every year. So coming January again, they will get rebalanced if there is any rebalance in the composition of the underlyings. Right? This is with respect to commodity indices. Now let's get into commodity options. I know everyone know about futures and options with respect to equities. यहाँ पे एक और चीज है. First of all, why would anyone want to trade in options, for example? It is because options gives the buyer an insurance against the adverse movements. So for options, buyer would only give the premium, seller would be giving the margins, right? So buyers will have the right to either to execute the option or not. They have the right. It's not an obligation. I'm sure everyone would be aware of this. So the maximum loss for the buyer is only the premium paid. So exchange traded options free from counterparty risk, right? And futures and options combination both are risk management tools. So gives leverage of futures with safety of options. So if you're trading in futures, you can side by side take positions in options. If you feel the if your future positions are going into losses, you can hedge it using options. So you can use a strategic trading even in commodities also using both futures and options, right? So basic advantages of trading options, of course. But there's one thing you need to understand: what is specifically commodity options. So commodity options may, when you talk about options, there are two concepts. One is options on goods and options on futures. In equity derivatives, the options are options on goods. That is, the underlying would be an equity only, a company share. The underlying of an option will be a company share. But with respect to commodity options, the underlying is not just a spot trading commodity. The underlying would be a future contract of that commodity. So the underlying of an option contract in commodities is a future contract. Okay, so during the expiry of options, what happens is, since the underlying is a future, option will get devolved or convert into a future position. So this is basically a general idea. So for example, during expiry, how do they devolve? If the option is an ITM, deliver is automatically excised unless buyer instructs otherwise, right? So if it's an ATM option, if the price is ATM, delivery is not excised unless instructed by buyer. And OTM contract, obviously they expire, they just lapse without any value. But the devolvement process, let's say if your option is in the money, right? And let's say you have a long call option, it will devolve into a long future position. If you have a long put option, it will devolve into a short future position. Similarly, if you have a short call option, that is, you have sold a call option, it will again devolve into a short future position. And if you have a short put position, it will devolve into long future position. If you want to understand how, actually, if you want to remember, you can also take a screenshot of this page, so that it'll help you in the future also. So this is one thing that you'll have to keep in mind about commodity options. Commodity options may options are options on futures because underlying is a future contract, right? So now the various contracts with respect to commodity options are again the same: gold and gold mini. Here you will not see all the contracts of futures. A few you will be able to see here: gold and gold mini. For example, silver and silver mini, crude, natural gas, copper, zinc, and nickel. So only these commodities you will be seeing in commodity options. And just for information, just like in equity, how options are, the volume of options are very high compared to futures. Even in commodities also, around 80 to 85% this trading activity happens in commodity options, and the rest in futures. Even in options, the most traded, just like you have Nifty and Bank Nifty, the most the highly traded options in equity derivatives. Similarly, in commodity derivatives, the most traded option contracts are crude oil and natural gas, for your information. So crude and natural gas में बहुत ज़्यादा trading होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा activity होता है with respect to commodity options. So if you want to, again, if you want to taste commodity options, how to trade in it, you can trade these highly liquid contracts क्योंकि easy entry and exit आपको मिल जाता है. You will be seeing enough volatility, good trading opportunities in crude oil and natural gas, right? Now I'll explain you. I'll take you through the settlement process. Futures and options में, अभी commodities में you'll need to understand that there are two types of contracts, which is physically settled and cash settled contracts. मतलब for example, gold, silver, या base metals हो गया, aluminum, copper. These contracts, these commodities, you'll be able to get physical delivery from the exchange. So if you're trading 1 kilogram of gold, and towards expiry you can get a delivery of 1 kilogram also. So right, these are called physically settled. Cash settled commodities, from the name you can understand that in these commodities you will not be getting physical delivery. They'll be settled by cash. So there are these two types. What are these cash settled commodities? Only crude oil and natural gas. Only these two are cash settled, while the rest, gold, silver, and all the base metals, are physically settled commodities only. So just to understand the settlement process, how expiry happens, what is the process towards expiry, we'll just take these two calendars as an example. Just look at the left side calendar. For example, let's consider copper contract. Copper usually expires at the last day of the month. So let's say on 31st, Monday, is when copper contract is expiring. So in commodities, in commodity futures, the last 5 working days or last 5 trading days will be delivery period, staggered delivery period. So in these 5 positions, if you are having any open positions, you will be allotted compulsory delivery. So the last the five boxes which are marked in yellow, that is 31, 28, 27, 26, 25. These 5 days is the staggered delivery period for copper. So but at ICICI Direct, what we do is we do not allow delivery for our customers, because most of our customers are retail customers, and most of our customers are here for trading purposes. For example, who would want to take 2500 kilograms of copper to their home, right? If you really want to take 2500 kilogram of copper to your home, you can put yes in the chat box, we'll look at it. But since we do not allow physical delivery for the commodities, what we do is one day before the staggered delivery period, that is on 24th, we square off the contracts. We square off all the open positions sometime in the evening towards the end of the day. So that's how settlement happens with respect to physically settled commodities. But when it comes to cash settled commodities, crude and natural gas, there is no tender delivery period, there's no staggered delivery period. Obviously, you can trade till the last trading day. So on the right side calendar, you can say an example of, let's say, crude oil. Let's say crude oil future expires on 20th of a month, and it's Friday. So the last 5 working days, there is nothing like staggered delivery period. You can trade till 20th, and positions will be squared off on 20th only. But what is the five yellow colored boxes with respect to crude oil is that there's a concept called pre-expiry margin. Okay, so in crude oil and natural gas alone, crude oil, natural gas, and the crude oil and natural gas alone, the last 5 working days or trading days, you will be charged pre-expiry margin also. uh, what pre-expiry margin means is, on the 5 days, every day on an incremental basis, you will be charged 5% additional margin. Let's say on 13th you have given 25% of margin for crude oil. So on 16th it will become 30%, on 17th it will become 35, then 40, 45, and on 20th it will become 50% of the margin. So this is something called pre-expiry margin, applicable only in energy contracts, that is crude oil and natural gas. So this is how future contract settlements happen. One is physically settled and cash settled. Next, the settlement for options. As I said, since in options the underlying is futures, so first the option contract expires, and 2 days after that the underlying future contract will continue. So, for example, let's take crude oil only. Let's consider on 19th of a month, crude oil futures are expiring. Okay, so but there are obviously option contracts to which there are this underlying future contract. So the option expires 2 days before the future contract expires, that is on 17th. The 17th is when option contract expires, but 19th is when the future contract expires. Okay, so when on 17th, if your option contract is in the money, then the next day it'll devolve or convert into a crude oil future position. And obviously you will have to give the additional margins required for that, because if you have a long position in options, you would have given only the premium, but to have a future position you will be needing to give margins, right? So on 18th you will be required to provide margins of around 40 or 45%, because in crude oil pre-expiry margin is also applicable, right? So at ICICI Direct, what we do is we don't devolve these options into futures as of now. What we do is on 17th, on the day of expiry of option, we square off the positions of option contracts. So this is how a settlement of the option contract takes place. So I hope you've understood about how futures and options settlement happens at ICICI Direct with respect to commodity derivatives. If you have any doubts or queries, you can definitely put it in the chat box and we can clear it for you, right? And then going towards brokerage and taxes. So obviously there is a DIY model that we have, that is do it yourself model. So usme will be charged only rupees 20 rupees per order, rupees 20 per order, which is a do it yourself model. We also have other customized brokerage plans also, for whom who would require advisory support and other added services also. So, and if you look at other taxes, what are being charged, for example, like commodity CTT, which is the commodity transaction tax, which is charged 0.01% on futures sell turnover, which is respect to commodity futures. For options, it is 0.05%, and which will be charged on the premium. Similarly, there are SEBI charges, stamp duty, MCX charges, which is exchange charges, GSTs also. So, if you want to have an idea about how that these taxation happens, you can take a screenshot of this screen also, and you can look at the charges and taxes applicable. And towards the end, now I would like to inform this one more thing. Recently, with respect to commodities and currencies, we have launched a new feature at ICICI Direct, which is shares as margin. I hope many of you would be aware of this feature. Some may not be aware, but shares as margin, what is it? If you are having any shares or available in your demat, you can pledge those shares, get limit for those shares, and then use that limit in for trading commodities or currency derivatives. Okay, so this is basically called shares as margin. It's a very two-step simple process. You will pledge the shares and allocate those funds in the commodity segment or currency segment wherever you want to trade. So what are the specific features that you would want to note with respect to ICICI Direct? We provide 100% shares as margin, right? That is, you can take the entire position using the margin, using limits brought from these shares. So 100% of the margin can be shares as margin. That's number one. And then intraday trading can happens with zero interest charges. So for these shares as margin, there obviously would be some interest charge. But if you are trading intraday, if you are squaring off the position on the same day, then you will not be charged any percentage, any interest on that margin utilized. So that is intraday, you can trade with zero interest. If you are carry forwarding the position to next days, then it will be 0.025 percentage per day. Okay, which sums up to 9% per year, which is 0.025 percentage per day. Also, you can transfer these shares as margin limits across segments very easily. You can transfer from commodities to currencies or FNO or any segment so easily. So this is one added advantage with respect to ICICI that we have brought it recently, so which you can go through also, which you can try it out. Uh, with this, I would like to share my website screen also. I'll take you all through the ICICI, through our ICICI Direct website to let you know how to do the trading, how to place order, and all
Sure,
those things.
Arvind, in case you can also show that barcode of our Telegram channel, which was the next part of your
Sure.
slide, so that
Yeah.
then we can hop to other.
Yeah. That would be the last slide. So I will show it
Sure.
at the end. Yeah. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible, sir. If anyone can confirm. The
Yes, sir,
ICICI
it
Direct
is
page.
visible.
Okay, so once anyone logs in into the ICICI Direct homepage, this is how the screen will be visible, right? So first thing here, you will be seeing the commodities page. This is the commodity menu. So under this commodities menu, there are different options like watch list, portfolio, place order. You can also place your orders from the watch list by looking at the charts, and you can place the orders from there also. And you can also place the orders from here. You can either choose futures or options. Click on call or put. You can choose any particular contract, for example, say crude. Select the contract, choose the expiry, let's say 7,000 on 15th September expiry. You can buy, click on buy. You can enter the number of lots here, let's say 10 lots. You can place a limit order or market order, let's say 50 rupees, and you can click on buy. So here you will be able to see all the order verification, like all the order details. You can confirm what you have actually placed. You can click on proceed, and it will ask for the funds to be allocated, whatever is required, whatever amount is required for your position. It will automatically ask for the fund allocation. If you click on submit, automatically the order will be placed. Obviously today it's Saturday, you will not be able to place order since market is closed. So this is how you place the order, and then after which, from here you can look at the order book. If there are any pending orders, executed orders, both in futures and option, you can check it out from here. Once the orders are executed, you can go to your open position page and then check your P&L directly from here. If there are any open positions, you can check live P&L, streaming P&L, profits and losses from in this page easily. One more thing I wanted to explain in this page is under smart tools, you will be able to see the margin calculator. So this is one major thing that particularly for first timers it will be helpful, where you will be able to see for any contract what is the initial margin required, initial capital required, how much money would you want to have in your hands, right? So let's say for example gold mini, which is a 100-gram contract. So let's say gold mini, I'm choosing the expiry here for one lot. If I'm adding it here to buy one lot of gold mini, what is the margin required? It's 59,828 rupees what the margin required. What is the minimum margin that is explained here, that is shown here is 54,583 is the minimum margin required to hold the position. What we collect from you is the position level margin. So what happens if there are any mark to market losses? So this 59,828 might go down, might reduce and go till 54,583. So but even 1 rupee it goes below this minimum margin, and the position will get squared off. It will be done automatically by the system. So what I suggest is, even in the open position page you will be able to see both these margins, minimum and available margins. So make sure your available margin is not going below the minimum margin. Make sure that your available margin is always above. Some extra buffer cash is always available in the commodity segment. Okay, so otherwise your positions might get squared off automatically by the system. So this was the margin calculator page that I wanted you to explain, show. So any other contract, crude oil, natural gas, or any base metal contract, you can check it out here. What is the margin required, and you can start trading accordingly. Right. So with this, I would like to give the stage to Saif. He'll take you through the research reports and market outlook also.
Yeah, hi. Thank you,
Saif,
everyone.
over. Yeah.
Hope I am audible.
Yes, safe.
Yeah, sure. Uh, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining for this webinar. Let me take you through first what is happening in the world right now. If you go to see, we are looking at, say, dollar index first. So dollar index was pretty showing a weakness for pretty like in the past few months. But suddenly we saw that it started moving up and have moved above 104. That is majorly because the market is anticipating that the Fed will keep interest rates at a elevated levels. मार्केट ये सोच रहा है कि जो फेड है, यूएस फेडरल रिजर्व है, वो इंटरेस्ट रेट को हायर लेवल पे रखेगा, जो 5.5% जो अभी चल रहा है 5.5%, उसके करीबन रखेगा, या तो हो सकता है कि और वो 25 से 50 बेसिस पॉइंट इंक्रीज करेगा. तो मार्केट में देयर वाज दिस एक्सपेक्टेशन दैट देयर विल बी एन इंक्रीज इन द रेट और इट विल कीप एलिवेटेड, बिकॉज ऑफ व्हिच वी सॉ द डॉलर इंडेक्स मूविंग अप, यूएस ट्रेजरी यील्ड्स गोइंग अप. US Treasury yields on the long-term perspective or the 10-year bond yields, if you go to see, they were also rising. वो भी बढ़ रहे थे. That was one. एक उसका रीजन था कि जो फिच ने डाउनग्रेड किया था यूएस का रेटिंग, उसके वजह से भी यील्ड्स में प्रेशर आया था और यील्ड्स वर मूविंग अप. सो दूसरा ये है कि चाइना का अगर हम देखें तो चाइनीज इकोनॉमी इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेल. चाइना के इकोनॉमिक डेटा जो भी आ रहा था वो इतना अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है, जिसकी वजह से मार्केट में एंटिसिपेशन होना चालू हो गया कि चाइना इज लूजिंग द मोमेंटम. जो इकोनॉमी है उसकी वो जो पेस से ग्रो होना चाहिए था वो पेस से ग्रो नहीं हो रही है. सो देयर वाज अ डेप्रिसिएशन इन युआन एज वेल वी सॉ. सो वी इन सब चीजों के कारण अगर हम देखें तो डॉलर इंडेक्स काफी ऊपर मूव होते चला गया और जिसका प्रेशर काफी कमोडिटीज पे आने लग गया. तो अगर हम जब भी कमोडिटीज को अगर देख रहे तो एक बार हमें करेंसी डॉलर इंडेक्स को हमेशा देखना चाहिए, बिकॉज डॉलर इंडेक्स विल ऑलवेज हैव एन इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप विद द कमोडिटी प्राइसेस. तो अब आगे हम चलते कि गोल्ड गोल्ड क्या यहाँ से कहाँ लग रहा है. सो आई थिंक द गोल्ड प्राइसेस are expected to move higher again in the coming future. It is a hedge against inflation, you can say hedge against economic uncertainties or geopolitical tension. So gold should always be a part of your portfolio. तो हमें गोल्ड को एक इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरह देखना चाहिए. तो हम जब भी कोई एक लोअर लेवल पे आ जाता है तो यू कैन स्टार्ट एक्यूमुलेटिंग. इवन दिस लेवल यू कैन सी इट्स अ गुड लेवल टू बाय टू एक्यूमुलेट द गोल्ड. अगर आपको अपने पोर्टफोलियो में रखना है तो गोल्ड का एक्यूमुलेट करना शुरू कर दीजिए. 57,500 तक भी आता है तो उसको एक्यूमुलेट कीजिए, काफी अच्छा सपोर्ट लेवल है. हम देखते हैं कि दिस विल गो हायर टिल 62,000 अगेन इन द कमिंग फ्यूचर. रीजंस, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग यूएस फेडरल रिजर्व, वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि यूएस फेडरल रिजर्व जो है अब वो यहाँ से इंटरेस्ट रेट को ज्यादा हाइक नहीं करेगा. हाँ, हो सकता है कि वो एक इस लेवल तक काफी टाइम तक रखे. कल भी अगर हम देखें तो फेड पॉवेल का जो स्पीच था जैक्सन होल सिंपोजियम में, वेयर ही मेंशन दैट ही डिडंट से एनीथिंग न्यू. ही गेव द सेम रीजन दैट वी विल बी डेटा डिपेंडेंट. वी विल सी द डेटा कैसा आ रहा है, उसी बेसिस पे हम डिसाइड करेंगे वेदर हमें इंटरेस्ट रेट को और बढ़ाना है कि उसी लेवल पे रखना है. और अगर डेटा की बात करें तो अगर हम देखें तो डेटा जैसा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पीएमआई हो, आपका इन्फ्लेशन डेटा हो, आपका जॉब डेटा, तो कहीं ना कहीं एक इम्पैक्ट नजर आ रहा है. एग्रेसिव रेट हाइक जो यूएस फेड ने किया था उसका कहीं ना कहीं इम्पैक्ट दिखाई दे रहा है. तो हो सकता है कि अगर इसी तरह डेटा अगर थोड़ा अगर नेगेटिव साइड पे हो, या इवन इफ इट इज stable, so we can see that US Federal Reserve will not hike the interest rate. Maybe it may keep the level at this level. But we are not seeing a sudden rate cut in this year. Maybe in the next year we may see some rate cut. तो उसके कारण चलते कारण हम देख सकते हैं कि जो yield है US 10-year bond yields पे और US 2-year treasury yields पे, so there are chances के yields correct होना शुरू हो जाए, and that will be supportive for the gold prices, and even dollar index will come down. So I think so the gold prices should move up ahead. तो यहाँ से हम बाइंग कर सकते हैं, एक्यूमुलेट कर सकते हैं, नीचे में आता है 57,500 के लेवल तक, तो भी हम वो भी एक लेवल यूज करके बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी यूज कर सकते हैं। अब देखते हैं कॉपर। कॉपर इज अ बेस मेटल, इंडस्ट्रियल मेटल है। इसका ज्यादा अगर हम देखें तो यूज इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर पे है। तो चाइना, if it sneezes or US sneezes, then everything is get impacted. तो अगर चाइना का इकोनॉमी अगर हम देखें कि स्लो डाउन दिखाई दे रहा है, तो उसकी वजह से कॉपर में प्राइसेस में काफी इम्पैक्ट आया, इट रिमेन डाउन। बट अगर इसी तरह डेटा आते रहे तो हो सकता है कि चाइना पॉलिसी मेकर्स जो है वो और स्टिमुलस पैकेजेस इंट्रोड्यूस करे, जिस तरह से दे आर डूइंग इट। प्रॉपर्टी सेक्टर उनका जो इम्पैक्टेड है, उसी चीज के लिए कोई कुछ ना कुछ अनवील कर सकते हैं वो न्यू measures. तो अगर इस तरह होता रहा तो हो सकता है कि that will be a positive for the copper, and that will help copper prices to move up. So I am seeing कि copper prices का 717 का एक major support level है, major support इसका 690 level है। जब तक इसके ऊपर है ये 780 760 to 780 के लेवल तक जा सकता है। So it is you can use dips in the copper to buy with a stop loss of 690 टू। अगर इमीडिएट अगर आपको शॉर्ट टर्म में खेलना है तो 717 का एक सपोर्ट अच्छा लेवल है, यू कैन गो फॉर अ बाय विद अ स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ 717 इन कॉपर। ओवरऑल कॉपर आल्सो लुक्स पॉजिटिव, ऊपर रहेगा कॉपर आगे चल के। और ऊपर से चाइना में अक्टूबर सितंबर एंड अक्टूबर इज कंसीडर्ड टू बी अ साइक्लिकल, जहां पे डिमांड कॉपर का बढ़ता है चाइना से, तो हो सकता है कि हमें कॉपर में थोड़ा अपसाइड मूवमेंट देखने को मिल सकता है। सिल्वर इज ऑल्सो कंसिडर्ड एज अ बुलियन। सी सिल्वर एक ऐसी कमोडिटी जिसका इंडस्ट्रियल में भी डिमांड है और इवन एज अ बुलियन उसको यूज किया जाता है। तो वो देखो तो वो गोल्ड को भी ट्रैक करता है और इंडस्ट्रियल मेटल्स को भी ट्रैक करता है। सो राइट नाउ मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सिल्वर विल आउट परफॉर्म, इट विल गो प्रीटी हायर, इट मे गो टिल 80,000 एज वेल, जो हम लोग ने ईयरली रिपोर्ट में भी हमने रिकमेंड किया था। 69,000 उसका एक इमीडिएट सपोर्ट है, जब तक 69,000 के ऊपर है यू कैन गो फॉर अ बाय टिल 75,000 लेवल्स। सिल्वर लुक्स पॉजिटिव। क्रूड ऑयल, क्रूड ऑयल की बात, तो क्रूड ऑयल में अगर आप हम अगर अभी देखिए सिचुएशन बहुत फंडामेंटल्स उसके बहुत मिक्स्ड आ रहे हैं। तो क्रूड ऑयल मुझे नहीं लगता कि $85 के ऊपर जाना चाहिए फिलहाल के लिए, और नीचे में अगर हम देखें तो वो $65 से $70 के करीबन आता है, वहां से मूव बैक कर रहा है। तो इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू रिमेन इन दिस रेंज एज वेल। हाँ, $85 अगर निकाल लेता है तो हमें ऊपर में तेजी दिख सकती है $90-95 तक, पर उसके पहले नहीं दिख रहा है। फंडामेंटल्स की अगर मैं बात करूं, इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द फंडामेंटल्स, वी कैन सी इट इज मिक्स, व्हिच आई मीन टू मिक्स इज, एक तरफा अगर हम देखें तो ओपेक जो है, सऊदी अरेबिया, जो गल्फ कंट्रीज है, प्लस रशिया, ओपेक प्लस व्हिच इज कॉल्ड, अगर हम देखें तो सऊदी अरेबिया ने वॉलेंटरली आउटपुट कट किया है 1 मिलियन बैरल्स पर डे से, जो वो एक्सपेक्ट सितंबर तक उसने एक्सटेंड किया था। अब मार्केट एक्सपेक्ट करे कि हो सकता है वो अक्टूबर में भी करे, लेकिन ये एक सप्लाई क्रंच का, एक टाइटनिंग का था, जिसकी वजह से क्रूड ऑयल थोड़ा प्राइसेस मूव अप हुआ। लेकिन अब क्या न्यूज आ रही है कि हो सकता ईरान का जो प्रोडक्शन है दैट इज गोइंग हायर, तो वहां से एक सप्लाई हो सकता है। ईआईए रिपोर्ट्स के हिसाब से नॉन ओपेक कंट्रीज जो बोलते हैं, ओईसीडीज जो होते हैं, जैसा फॉर एग्जांपल रशिया, आपका यूएस हो, कनाडा हो, सो ये सब चीजें जो है इनकी भी क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस का एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि द क्रूड प्रोडक्शन जो इनकी तरफ से वो बढ़ सकता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं जो आउटपुट कट सऊदी ने किया या ओपेक से जो आ रहा है, वो कहीं ना कहीं मे बी द अनदर कंट्रीज आर एबल टू मैनेज इट, एंड देयर इज अ सप्लाई इन द मार्केट। तो जो सप्लाई कंसर्न मार्केट में था वो कम होना शुरू हो गया है। देयर इज ऑल्सो वन मोर न्यूज कि जो इराक और टर्की का जो इशू था, जो पाइपलाइन से अराउंड लाइक 4,50,000 barrels crude oil was stopped. So there is a chance, which is a 0.5% of the global production. So there is an expectation that the Turkey and the Iraq will come to some conclusion, and it will restart the pipeline. So there will be a flow of the crude oil from that side as well. And there is one more thing, that US is trying to reduce some of the sanctions on Venezuela. So Venezuela से भी अगर sanctions कम हो जाते हैं ईरान से, जो चल रहा है टॉक्स, अगर कहीं ना कहीं अगर वो कुछ न्यूज आ जाती है और ऑयल फ्लो और ज्यादा बढ़ सकता है, तो क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस को डाउनसाइड प्रेशर रहेगा। और एक चीज है कि कोई भी इकोनॉमी इज नॉट डूइंग दैट ग्रेट कि क्रूड ऑयल का डिमांड ज्यादा रहे, वेदर इट इज यूएस, वेदर इट इज यूरोप, यूके, चाइना, कोई भी इकोनॉमी इज नॉट डूइंग दैट ग्रेट राइट नाउ कि डिमांड वहां से हो सकता है, तो ज्यादा कंसर्न्स है, सो डिमांड कंसर्न्स आर आल्सो देयर, सो देयर इज अ रीजन व्हाई द क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस विल रिमेन अंडर प्रेशर। अगर हम देखें यूएस और चाइना आर द मेजर कंज्यूमर्स ऑफ द क्रूड ऑयल, सो लाइक चाइना में अगर ज्यादा कोई सपोर्टिव आ जाता है या तो समथिंग इफ वी गेट इट देन वी मे see something like positive if it's there something from China. Otherwise downside pressure रहेगा crude oil में overall. So क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस तो एक रेंज में रहेंगे जो मैंने बोला है नाइमेक्स में, और इन एमसीएक्स पे अगर हम देखें तो 7000 का एक रेजिस्टेंस लेवल है, नीचे में अगर हम देखें तो 6000 के लेवल पे आता है, एंड देन इट मूव्स लाइक दैट। सो देयर इज दिस इज द थिंग व्हिच वी कैन सी इन द लाइक इन द कमोडिटीज। Let me take you to some of the reports. I would like to show you the reports. Um, let me see. I will just share it. The
Would you
reports
want
which
me to share the screen, Seth?
I will try, Arvind. Let me try. I think so. I can share it. Just let me know if you can see the reports.
Okay.
Can you see my the screen?
Yeah. Yes, visible.
Yeah, it's visible, right? Just give me a moment. Hmm. Okay, this is a. Let me show you first the commodity uh, daily report which we come up with. Just give me a moment. I will show you the first morning report and then the evening report. Okay, so this is the daily currency and commodity outlook. This is the morning report which we release every morning, which comes around before the market starts. So you will have this report around 8:30 to 8:40 in your inboxes. So दिस इज अ डेली स्नैपशॉट। अब डेली स्नैपशॉट का मतलब क्या, न्यूज एंड डेवलपमेंट, हम यहाँ पे वो चीजें डालते हैं कि कल क्या हुआ, जैसे गोल्ड में, सिल्वर में, डॉलर इंडेक्स में क्या हुआ, क्रूड ऑयल में, कॉपर, नेचुरल गैस। तो दिस इज द रीजंस व्हाट हैपेंड इन द कमोडिटी मार्केट, क्यों हुआ, क्या क्या चीजें हुई। तो ये एक आपको न्यूज एंड डेवलपमेंट यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा। यहाँ पे आपको अगर प्राइस परफॉर्मेंस देखना है कि गोल्ड में इंटरनेशनल और डोमेस्टिक में क्या था, तो आप यहाँ से देख सकते हैं कि आपको मिल जाएगा कि व्हाट इज द परफॉर्मेंस, यही पे करेंसी का है। और ये डेली स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलोअप, मतलब हम जो डेली यहाँ पे जो हम कॉल देते हैं, डेली रिकमेंडेशन, ये एक इंट्राडे पर्सपेक्टिव से पूरा दिन के लिए होता है। तो उसका आउटकम क्या हुआ था, व्हाट वी हैव डन। अभी जैसे हम लोग ने इसके पहले क्रूड ऑयल का दिया, तो वो इनिशिएट नहीं हुआ, तो इट वाज नॉट इनिशिएटेड। पाउंड में हमने सेल दिया था, तो प्रॉफिट बुक हुआ, तो वी रोट अ प्रॉफिट बुक। यहाँ पे आपको करेंसी आउटलुक मिलेगा। इफ एनीवन इंटरेस्टेड टू नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द करेंसी मार्केट, तो यू विल फाइंड हियर कि करेंसी यूएसडी में हुआ क्या और आज लग क्या रहा है, यूरो में क्या हुआ, व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड टुडे, इवन लाइक पाउंड में कल कैसा मूवमेंट था और आज कैसा मूवमेंट होगा, तो यहाँ पे आपको वो मिल जाएगा। देन कम्स द बुलियन आउटलुक, बेस मेटल आउटलुक। यहाँ पे हम बताते हैं कि आज के लिए बुलियन में क्या होगा, आजकल में आज के लिए गोल्ड में क्या होगा, रीजंस क्या होंगे, जैसे कि फेड का स्पीच है या ट्रेजरी यील्ड्स नीचे है, क्यों नीचे है, और कोई डेटा आने वाला है, तो वो चीजें यहाँ पे हम मेंशन करते हैं कि कैसे फंडामेंटली लग रहा है, और उसी तरह टेक्निकल लेवल्स देते हैं। You will come to know what are the technical levels, where to buy, where to sell. And even in the silver, same way it is shown in the base metals. We cover copper and aluminum over here. Then we come across with the energy. एनर्जी में हम क्रूड ऑयल एंड नेचुरल गैस को कवर करते हैं, वही फंडामेंटल रीजंस के क्या हो सकता है और क्या नहीं हो सकता है, उसी तरह टेक्निकल लेवल्स वुड बी गिवन। Then there comes the pivot level. If someone wants to use the pivot levels for the trading purpose, तो यहाँ पे है pivot है, resistance levels है, support levels है, so I don't think so I need to explain how to use this, but in short still I will just give you कि अगर इसके लेवल के ऊपर है, अगर प्राइसेस चल रहा है, तो ये रेजिस्टेंस हो सकता है कि हम यहाँ पे बाय कर सकते हैं, तो ये एक फर्स्ट टारगेट होगा, सेकंड टारगेट होगा। उसी तरह ये प्राइसेस इसके नीचे ट्रेड हो रहा है, तो हमारा ये सपोर्ट लेवल जो है वो हमारे टारगेट्स बन सकते हैं। तो उसी तरह वी कैन यूज दिस डेली पाइवट लेवल्स फॉर कमोडिटी एंड करेंसी, दोनों के हम देते हैं यहाँ पे। फिर यहाँ पे हम की पैरामीटर्स में हम ग्लोबल बॉन्ड मार्केट्स कैसे मूव हुए, करेंसी, मेजर करेंसी पेयर्स का मूवमेंट कैसा था, फिर क्रूड स्टॉक जो आता है एवरी वेडनेसडे व्हेन वी गेट दिस डेटा, सो वी अपडेट दिस टेबल की क्या हुआ था, कितना एक्चुअल और एक्सपेक्टेशन था। और LME वेयरहाउस स्टॉक्स। ये LME के जो स्टॉक्स आते हैं कॉपर वगैरह के, वो हम डेली बेसिस पे अपडेट होते हैं, डेली बेसिस पे आते हैं। द वे इट कम्स वी keep on updating, so you can see what are the stocks in the LME warehouses from here. Then this is an economic calendar. ये पूरे हफ्ते का हम इकोनॉमिक कैलेंडर देते हैं कि पूरे हफ्ते में कौन से डेटा आने वाले हैं, और उसी तरह एवरी डे जब वो डेटा आ जाता है तो हम उसे अपडेट करते हैं कि what was the forecast or what was the actual. So and how impactful this data is. So we have mentioned high, medium. So accordingly आप देख सकते हैं and you can see, you can track those this, like the labels as the data as well. Now let me show you the एक दूसरा हमारा एक इवनिंग रिपोर्ट होता है, कमोडिटी इवनिंग रिपोर्ट हम निकालते हैं। दिस कम्स अराउंड 4:30, आपको इवनिंग सेशन के लिए मिलेगा। वही हम डेली रिकमेंडेशन देते हैं इसमें कि बाय सेल के हमें क्या अच्छा लग रहा है। फिर उसमें हम एक की हाइलाइट्स फॉर द डे, मतलब क्या हुआ है अभी तक दिन में, क्यों मूवमेंट हुआ है गोल्ड में, कॉपर में, और अब आने वाले वक्त में लाइक इन द इवनिंग सेशन क्या मूवमेंट हो सकते हैं, कौन सी चीजें देखनी चाहिए, क्या फंडामेंटल्स वर्क कर रहे हैं। सो यू विल फाइंड ओवर हियर। उसी तरह LME वेयरहाउस स्टॉक्स आपको उसी वक्त भी मिल जाएंगे इवनिंग सेशन में, बिकॉज ये डेटा आता है 1:30 बजे, तो हम इसे इवनिंग रिपोर्ट में भी रिलीज करते हैं। यू विल हैव अ पाइवट लेवल्स जो 4 बजे के हिसाब लेवल्स के हिसाब से अपडेट करते हैं। सो यू हैव अ फ्रेश पाइवट लेवल्स एज वेल। जो मॉर्निंग में एक होगा आपके लिए, ऊपर से आपको एक इवनिंग में मिल जाएगा कि उस बात के प्राइस मूवमेंट के हिसाब से भी what are the pivot levels which you can use for the trading. Then you can have we just attach a technical chart over here to see how the price movement is, and again the major economic events which would be coming in the evening session. और ये एक स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलोअप होता है, डेली स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलोअप। हमने जितने कॉल्स दिए हैं उसका ये डेली स्ट्रेटेजी का फॉलोअप है कि वेदर इट वाज प्रॉफिट बुक या स्टॉप लॉस हो गया या एग्जिट इन लॉस है, जो भी है वो मार्केट के हिसाब से वो हम अपडेट करते हैं। So these are the two reports which we release. Then there is one weekly report. जो give me a moment, I will share the weekly report as well. Yeah, so this is the weekly report which we come out. ये पूरे हफ्ते के लिए होता है। इसमें भी हम रिकमेंडेशन देते हैं कि 2 रिकमेंडेशन होते हैं, एक करेंसी और एक कमोडिटी के लिए, बिकॉज दिस इज अ कंबाइंड रिपोर्ट फॉर द कमोडिटी एंड करेंसी। ये डेली आउटलुक एंड स्ट्रेटेजी होता है कि हम किस में कॉल दे रहे हैं और क्यों, क्या रीजन है हमें लग रहा है कि वो बाय होना चाहिए या सेल होना चाहिए, वो है। उसी तरह ये स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलोअप है कि पिछले हफ्ते में हमने जो कॉल दिए थे उसका फॉलोअप क्या होगा। उसी तरह गोल्ड, पहला हम बुलियन से शुरुआत करते हैं जिसमें हम गोल्ड और सिल्वर को कवर करते हैं। वी स्पीक अबाउट what has happened in the previous week and what is expected in the coming week. So this is the outlook for the coming week with the technical levels, with the fundamental levels. You have a pivot levels over here. Same way for silver. As we go ahead, you will find for the base metals like उसमें हम copper और aluminium को cover करते हैं। Energy में हम क्रूड ऑयल और नेचुरल गैस को कवर अप करते हैं। यहाँ पे आपको ऑप्शंस OI देखना है तो वो देख सकते हैं, चार्ट्स आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे। Then we have currency where we cover up rupee, and then we cover euro and pound. Same way, what happened in the previous week, what is expected in the coming week with the fundamentals and with the technical levels. And this is again an economic calendar for the whole week कि क्या क्या मार्केट में कौन से इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा आने के चांसेस है। उसी तरह हम एक ईयरली आउटलुक निकालते हैं which every year we come up in the first in the start of the year, which covers the whole youth, the total fundamentals for the major commodities and what are their expectations in the whole year. So this from my side. Arvind, over to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Saif, that was a nice presentation showing what all is available with us. Viewers, ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन आपको भले इन्वेस्टिंग में या किसी और वेबसाइट में मिल जाए, बट यू नीड टू सर्च फॉर इट बिट बाय बिट, यहाँ थोड़ा सा वहाँ थोड़ा सा. So what our research team does is they have enough experience, look at all this data, and they just comprise and give it as one capsule, one in the morning, one in the evening, one in the beginning of the week. So they also come out with research reports which are there at iClick to Gain. When I say research reports, to ho gaya, but research recommendations on iClick to Gain. commodity, futures, options, currency, buy, sell, kya hai, option kya hai, different strategies. So my request would be look at Arvind. You can just show the I click to gain once quickly.
There was,
My
yeah,
yeah, my recommendation is look at these research reports. So at least it will give you some direction, right? यहाँ से आप शुरू कीजिए. All these capsules, 4-5 paragraphs, read in a day. Look at this research call, start trading. Then obviously you can get deeper. Try yourself, technical analysis, fundamental analysis. But शुरू करने के लिए one can start with this. That's what is my recommendation. I know there are a lot of questions which are there. Arvind, is there anything other important thing that you want to cover? Then I think we can quickly go to questions. A lot of questions. I think we need to cover as many as possible.
yeah, I'll try and cover those questions also. Firstly, there was a question like where to view these reports that Safe just showed, the daily, morning, evening, and weekly reports. So once I opened ICICIdirect.com, I'm not even logging in. This is ICICIdirect.com main page, and here I just selected commodity. Okay, in the top menu, and under commodity, I'll be choosing this product menu here, which is shown here, products, right? So once you open this page, in the products page, you will be able to see the reports below. Scroll down a little bit, there is daily morning, daily evening, weekly, and there is also a yearly report. So this is where you can see the reports that Safe just showed. So this is in the non-logged in section. You don't even have to log in to see these reports. It's as easy uh, to navigate. So that's one. The next one, there are many queries on like how to do intraday trading or how to place stop loss, this quantity and lots issue. I'll show that live screen also quickly. So yeah, so this is the commodity homepage and commodity place order page after logging in, right? So regarding quantity and lots, for example, let me take, for example, let me take crude oil. Crude oil contract lot size is 100 barrels, right? So let's say I select next expiry and there is crude oil. So in lots for so one lot is 100 quantity. You can see it here also, it is mentioned barrels. One lot is 100 quantity because we have selected crude. For example, let me click on lots, and let me type 5. So if I type in 5 lots and click it outside anywhere, it will automatically take it as 5 into 100 quantity, which is 500 quantity. Okay, so you can easily click on lots and put in the number of lots, 5, 10, 20, 50 lots. It will be easy for you to place the order like this one. And there was one more on how to place stop loss order. So once you've given
I
these
think this
details here.
lot query was from Mr. Deva, who's on connected on YouTube. So Mr. Deva, this is for you. You
Right,
enter
yes.
quantity, you get the lots automatically. Just need to put a tab. Reason being, there are many equity traders who wanted quantity, so that's how we are given both the options of quantity and lot. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you can just easily click on lots, and you can put in the lots directly. The quantity will be taken or calculated automatically. Next, to place a stop loss order, here you can see a drop down called charges and more. So on this more, you can pull it down a little bit. You can see this SLTP, which is stop loss trigger price. So if you put in any stop loss trigger price here, it will become a stop loss order. If you enter any stop loss trigger price, it will become a stop loss order. Okay, it is as simple as that. If you pull this, drag this down, if you open this section and enter a stop loss trigger price, then it will become a stop loss order. It is as simple as that. Okay, otherwise if there is no stop loss SLTP mentioned here, then it will be a normal order, else it will be a stop loss order. As simple as that, how to place the stop loss order, right? So this was one more query. And also the regarding share sales margin, is it same, is it similar, like you just pledge? First step is you just place the existing share sales margins, and then you allocate the funds in the smart tools, I believe. And under funds in the commodity, under funds subtool, sub menu, you can see this shares margin page. You can click on it, it will automatically show the different shares that are available in your demat, and you can select the number of quantity of shares to be pledged. It will automatically show the limit to be created for the number of shares selected. So you'll click on it. For example, you can also select multiple shares, and here at the bottom there are 4 different options: pledge and allocate to equity segment, FNO segment, currency or commodity segment. You can click on pledge and allocate to commodity, and within some time the limits will be created to your trading account. So it is as simple as that. It's just two steps that is involved: pledging and allocating it to the respective segment. So this was one query with respect to share sales margin that also I tried to cover. And one more thing, Saif explained the research reports, where the non-logged in section you can open and read the entire reports. But other small capsules that Sir was mentioning are under smart tools, sorry, under reports, you can see this I click to gain, something called I click to gain. What is this? This is the research recommendation page for ICICI Direct. So in this page, you can filter out specifically for commodity futures or options. You can select it, and if you view on this, you will be getting all the commodity option contracts, research calls, and recommendations here. So in this, you will be having the stock code. You will be seeing the current market price recommendation at what price range you need to take the position, the target, and also a stop loss, so that when you're placing an order, you can place a normal buy or sell order, and then you can also place a profit order, the target order, and you can also place a stop loss order. So three normal, profit order, and also stop loss order. It's like a bracket order. You can place all these three orders from these details provided here, and you can be tension free, right? It's not like you just place one order and constantly monitor it. You can just place profit and stop loss orders also along with them, and you can be tension free. So also if profits are achieved, full profits and partial profits, automatically here updates will be given, and you can trade using these also. So even from here, from this link mentioned here, if there is any call towards the right, there is this commodity option where you can click on it, and automatically those details will be entered here. You'll only have to give either market or limit price and enter the number of lots, and you can place your order. So this is with respect to I click to gain, that is the research recommendations. Yeah. If there are any more questions, please do put it in the chat box. We can cover it out side by side. And Ramesh sir, any other
Yeah.
questions?
Sure. Let's quickly go to the chat and see what all the questions which are there. There was one question on stop loss. I'm just culling out my YouTube video on stop loss, and I'll paste the link in the group so that everybody can see that. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm just culling it out. Parallel, we can take other questions. Yeah, there's a question from Venkatakrishnan. Intraday trading facility available for commodity options with reduced margins? Venkatakrishnan now 2022 September onwards, the margins required are full. So basically, you don't have that extra option of reducing the margin to trade intraday. Even though it's intraday or overnight, it's the same margin what will be required. Prashant says, can you clarify on option chain for commodities? Mr. Prashant, currently option chain is available on our app, which is ICICI Direct all-in-one app. Shortly, we'll also have option chain on web and markets app, from where you can click and you'll be able to place order. But you can currently use our ICICI Super App or ICICI all-in-one app, where you have commodity option chain there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. I have what all questions were there on the Zoom?
Mostly on stop loss.
Yeah, I've tried to answer one-on-one what all queries that have come. Let's take the questions on YouTube, Arvind, in case you can quickly just check. There are some questions on YouTube.
Yeah, regarding the stop loss questions, we'll paste the YouTube link here, which explains what is stop loss, how to place the order. That will be helpful.
Yeah, I'm doing it. There's one question from Sandeep Khare. Would you explain brokerage charges in commodity section, like crude? Arvind, would you like to quickly show our brokerage calculator? And we also have other plans wherever there are additional services which are required. Yeah.
So again, this ICICI Direct homepage that I've mentioned under the commodities menu. So this is the non-logged in section. When you open ICICIdirect.com and open the commodities page, scroll down a little bit and you will see the commodity brokerage calculator here. So what is this? You can put in the buy price, sell price for various contracts, and you can look at all the charges, not only the brokerage, all taxes, what are the SEBI charges, exchange charges, stamp duty, CTT, GST, and all charges will be shown transparently here. You can also see the total expenses and taxes mentioned, and per lot expense, rupees to break even, and what will be the net profit or loss based on the buy price and sell price you have given. So this is left side box is what is explained for commodity futures, and the right side box explains for commodity options. So you can select any contract, any preferable contract, and you can put in the buy and sell prices.
Arvind, the question is on crude, so you can take an example of crude itself. Okay. So it will be clearer to Mr. Sandeep Khare.
Right. So crude oil, automatically the prices will be taken. You can put in your prices also 6,000. Let's say 6,600. I sell it and buy it at 6,500. Okay, so for one lot, this is the brokerage. If it's a do-it-yourself model, it will be 20 rupees per order brokerage. So per order, irrespective of number of lots, it will be rupees 20 per order. So one buy and one sell order, which is 40, and these are the extent all the charges included. Total expenses and taxes for trading this crude oil one lot is rupees 167.94. So eliminating these expenses, net profit and loss based on the buy and sell prices are 9,832, which is the net profit loss. So this is how you can calculate the brokerage charges and profit and loss. Here also, even before placing the order, even from the non-logged in section, you can do this. So similarly, in the with respect to commodity options in this box also.
Yeah. The other question, Mudassar, there was the how to trade in MCX in the live demo. Mudassar ji, हमने आपको place order वाला दिखाया. Hope it would have clarified. Today Saturday markets are closed, but कैसे लगाना है order वो Arvind did show. Geeta Patil, I answered your question. Silver Micro is the most traded, most liquid contract. Lot of trades happen there. 1 rupee gain or loss. 1 rupee movement is 1 rupee gain or loss. Yeah, Mr. Deva is asking question on can we pledge and unpledge same day without any fee or block margin? Devaji, there is a pledging cost which is there. You need to pledge, and pledge is not per share, but it is per script that you do. There will be a pledge cost which will be there. I think it's 20 rupees. Let me just confirm on that. But yeah, you need to pledge, and then you can use those pledge shares as margin. I understood your question on placing of orders in lots and quantity. We showed you the demo, but nonetheless, we will take it up with IT as desired by you. Yeah, Rajiv had a question on currency tick size. Rajiv ji, we have a currency webinar coming up on 6th of September. Please do join us. It will be exclusive seminar on currency, and a lot of new things will be discussed there, like new option contracts which are being launched. I mean to say new strike prices by NSE. So mark your date, block your calendar, 6th, which is Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. Yeah, these are all the questions which were there. राइट राजीव खन्ना जी, आप कॉल ऑप्शन 66 का बाई करेंगे और 7,000 का सेल करेंगे, कितना मार्जिन लगेगा? मेरे कलीग अरविंद ने आपको ब्रोकरेज कैलकुलेटर दिखाया था, टूल्स के अंदर मार्जिन कैलकुलेटर. आप जितने चाहिए उतने सिनारियो डाल सकते हैं और आपको वहां पे क्या मार्जिन लगेगा वहां दिख जाएगा. प्रशांत जी का एक क्वेश्चन था, कैन आई पुट मल्टीपल ऑर्डर्स इन कमोडिटीज? यस प्रशांत जी, टूल्स में जाइए, बास्केट ऑर्डर्स है. बास्केट जैसे नाम बोलता है, एक बास्केट के अंदर आप बहुत सारी चीज डाल सकते हैं. यू कैन पुट मल्टीपल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स एंड यू कैन प्लेस द ऑर्डर. There were a lot of questions, especially from Venkatesh Krishnan on delivery. Venkatesh Krishnan ji, I mentioned, currently at ICICI, we don't do delivery. It's a risk management platform which is there. Just to give you some statistics, सिर्फ आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, हर दिन MCX का 1 लाख करोड़ का वॉल्यूम होता है दिन का. मतलब 20 वर्किंग डे 20 लाख करोड़. यहाँ तक क्लियर है? महीने का डिलीवरी वॉल्यूम विच हैपेंस ऑन MCX इज 500 करोड़. महीने का 500 करोड़ होता है, तो बहुत छोटा है. I believe less than 100 customers would be using across India. So as of now at ICICI, it's only a risk management platform and we don't do delivery. आपने crude petal के delivery के बारे में पूछा. Yeah, it has to come from Ahmedabad. So the cost adds up. आप यहाँ पे hedge कीजिए. You can buy it from the market. Yeah, over to you, Arvind. I think I tried to cover as many questions as possible, but you can cover on this our Telegram channel.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Mostly, I believe all the questions have been covered. And this screen that I'm sharing now, left side, the QR code is of our ICICI Direct's commodity and currency Telegram channel. There is also a different channel for ICICI Direct, which is the main channel. This channel is particularly for commodities and currencies. In this channel, you will be receiving the research updates, the research reports that we were showing to you, some small snippets or quick recommendations and all, and updates on any calls given. So those things you'll be able to get in this Telegram channel. Even economic events where there are major high impact economic events also, we mention those details also on a live basis. So please do scan this QR code and quickly join our Telegram channel also, so that you'll be up to date with the commodity and currency markets.
Thank you. There was a question on Breeze. No, commodity currently is not available on Breeze, but definitely it's work in progress. Gradually, we will get Breeze also for commodities. Yeah, I think we covered most of the questions, and I know it's what 11:16. Yeah, so it was Nice interactive session. We loved it. Nice quality, good questions. You guys were awesome participants. Thank you so very much for joining. We look forward. Whole idea of doing this webinar was this was a education webinar where we wanted to educate our customers on what commodities are, why one should trade on commodities, what all tools that we are giving, how we are helping our customers to become better traders in commodities. So thank you so very much for joining. I thank all the participants. Thank you, Saif, for taking off time and sharing those valuable inputs, especially on the research side. I always keep telling research is what is one biggest differentiator between any other broker and ICICI. Pricing, we are also at a discount broking 20 rupees. Everything is same, but at the same 20 rupees pricing, we give all this morning report, evening report, I-click gain. So there is one edge up at the same pricing. So thanks for doing all that work, Saif. And especially, I would also take this opportunity to thank you for that annual report which you came out in the beginning of the year. Right? Great insights. Many of the customers have called me and said that it was helpful. Thank you so very much. Arvind, you have been a great host, and thanks for that lovely presentation. I found it to be crisp. I hope even our participants also found it to be crisp, because commodities is a little different than equities. Different expiries, different lot sizes, right? Unlike equities, it is what earlier it used to be Thursday, and even now the expiries are fixed. But here, crude natural gas is a different day, gold, silver is different day, options is different, devolvement, so on and so forth. So thanks for sharing all that. And this to all our investors, traders, this presentation is available once you log in ICICI Direct login. You go to commodities section. At the bottom, you have two presentations: why to trade commodities and how to trade commodities. So this entire presentation is covered there, because I do understand 45, 50, 60 minutes you hear, not 100% you'll be able to absorb, but you have any doubt, you can go back and refer those presentations. And any of this webinar will also be available on YouTube. You can go and refer at 1.5 speed in case you have anything to refer. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks, Rishi. Thanks to all my other colleagues at ICICI who organized this. Thank you so very much. Look forward to seeing you all again on 6th of September for currency webinar.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from ICICI Direct.